Dan, if you could change or make one government policy today, what would it be and why?
Well, I wouldn't want to change just one. I'd want to change three basic policies. The very first one would be fact checking, because the only candidate that would not want fact checking is the person that's lying to us. Number two would be term limits. So knowing that they only get two terms, put in office, and then they how much money can they steal in 2 terms before they have to go and live back amongst us? Let's put a cap on these different campaigns. When you look at how much money is squandered, when you look at a lot of our first responders, especially like our veterans, and know that veterans need help and they're living in the streets, let's take care of our own before taking care of others.
Did a little research and found out there's like 8 million undocumented workers in this country. And none of those undocumented workers benefits from any of that, because they're not going to file unemployment. And I think there got to be a way that they can utilize that and to help these undocumented workers, because they contribute to the society of the United States. All our parents, including myself, we're all immigrants in this country, all of us. And if you go back a few generations, we're all first-time guy who landed in this country. But they got to be able to come in here the right way, and they got to be the education that they know how to get in here the right way.
I'd probably start with the legalization and decriminalization of cannabis. It's also, when I was growing up as a kid, I was prescribed a lot of Riddle, and there's a lot of ADHD medication. I had some long-term effects from using it from 3rd grade up into high school, and once I stopped taking it, I stopped having those issues. And those issues were, I actually had ulcers all over my esophagus. I kind of look at cannabis as the tomato model. You can go to a grocery store and buy steamed tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, diced tomatoes, and I believe cannabis should be handled the same exact way. And that way, anybody that needs it can get it. For me, cannabis has really helped me have longevity in my career. I'm 38. I'm no Dan Severn, but I'm 38 years old. I feel amazing. For me, that's my hill that I'll die on.
What obstacles and limitations are preventing our generation today from reaching our full potential as a collective? Whenever you're ready to go, the floor is yours, good sir.
I mean, if you really want to set goals for yourself, you've got to pull out a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, and you've got to write those goals down. That's the end of the rainbow, to be able to put together goals and then the steps to achieve these goals. I see a lot of weakness in this new generation coming up. You can Google everything. Growing up, I mean, I had to pull out the encyclopedias and just to be able to look up things. You actually had to do book reports and the setting of goals, realistic goals, but lay it out on actual paper so that you know what you really want to try to do, and knowing that you are going to hit obstacles. You're going to hit dead ends, and knowing that, don't give up. My goal, one of my personal goals, is to take Father Time, the all-time champion, because he's never lost a match yet. Plan on taking Father Time into a little OT. That's all I'm looking for, just a little OT.
None of us became champion without failing, losing. I'm sure we lost many times before we became a champion. And I think that's one thing, nothing wrong with not achieving first time. As a matter of fact, I think it's a detriment if you go out there for the first time and you win. I think it sends out the wrong messages. Is having a role model, somebody who they can look up to, not necessarily a martial artist or a UFC champion or pro wrestling champion, but someone that you can look. It could be musical. I think that's one of the most important things that emphasize more opportunity, cut down the cost of education. I think that's important.
It's just a different time. The lack of having to remember anything, and then this is one thing I was always taught. There's no such thing as I can't. Like I wasn't in my vocabulary growing up. If I ever said it, it got out of me pretty quick. Either my parents got it or coaches, whatever. But I think the biggest thing is, unfortunately, because it should be our biggest tool to advance us back, technology and how easy it is for us to get things. I can pick up my phone and Uber Eats food to my house. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean. I don't have to do anything. It shows up. Or when I see somebody take an interest in athletics, I love it because that's somebody that wants to push themselves. They want stress. They want to put themselves at a deficit and rebuild back.
Oh, sorry. Our top vote getter moving on to round number 2 is
Sonny Onoo. And Severn, 23 votes.
Severn to
Yes!
wow.
Oh,